Hello friends, sorry about all the delay, me and technology. I'm actually being a bit humble, it's really not my fault, it's just technology is not caught up with what we need it for in life now, especially obviously if you've got a YouTube channel, right? There's so many glitches in it still, but anyway, that's me making excuses. Can you let me know? Hello Quadrex, how are you my brother? Can somebody let me know in the Facebook chat if you can hear me okay? I'm just going to try and organise some things. Oh, I got myself coming through my... Not sure if we're going to be able to get anybody on the Facebook chat. Let me try my phone. Well, it's just technology. It's just technology. With what we need it for in life now, especially. Hang on. If you've got a YouTube channel, right? There's so many glitches. Talking to myself, as usual. Right. Can somebody on Facebook leave a comment if you can hear us? That would really help. Okay. Pop out chat for YouTube. Hello Matrix, how are you? Let's just get some rock and rolling, shall we? Once again, if someone on Facebook, can you just leave a comment to say if you can see us okay? I'm sure you can. Right, bear with us.
The Veterans Channel.
I guess I'm one of these people that likes running. It's always really kept me on the straight and narrow.
In October 2018, former British Royal Marine Chris Thrall set out to run 999 miles across the United Kingdom to support the BATON charity and raise awareness of issues surrounding veteran mental health and veteran suicide.
One day I was sat at the computer and I thought, has anyone ever run the length of the UK? And I came across one guy that had done it, and his story had been written up in a newspaper. I thought, do you know what, I'd really like to do that. Not just for the run, in fact the run was probably the least part of it. I was more interested in setting myself such a challenge, spending time on my own and camping in a sort of an idyllic spot every night, or at least that was the plan. So I thought, yeah, I'll run the length of the UK. So I decided I'm going to run solo, as in just myself. I'm going to be unsupported, as in I'm not going to have a crew with me. I'm going to carry all my own equipment so I can camp as and when I need to. And I'm going to run an ultramarathon a day. And just as I decided to do that, and just as I started to get my equipment together, I popped a disc in my spine. And it was next to kidney stones. It was the most painful thing I'd ever experienced. I phoned my surgeon and I just begged him, is there any way you can kill this last bit of pain? He gave me a swift operation. I still had significant back pain. I had brain damage from all the medication that I'd had to take when I was in extreme pain. I put them to my partner and said, you know, should I really be doing this? And she said, Chris, you'll do it. And that was it. To see her belief in me at a time where I wasn't even sure myself, that just told me, yeah, I will, won't I? I'll do it. A big part of it was I wanted to show people what the human body and the human mind's capable of. How if you set your goals, you should just follow them through and not let anything or anybody deter you.
There hasn't been a single footstep I've taken on this journey that hasn't been thoroughly enjoyable.
I'm going to do it for a veterans charity. I want to raise awareness of this alarming rate of suicide we've got amongst our veterans at the moment. If I have to crawl an ultramarathon a day, that's what I will do. I wanted to put the message out there to veterans who are struggling as I had, that there's always a light. So long as you look within, you dig deep, change maybe a few of your paradigms, be prepared to change, you can achieve anything.
Okay, so there we go. That was the challenge of 2 years ago, wasn't it? So in 2018, I ran the length of the country to raise awareness of veteran suicide. In 2019, I did a quadruple Ironman distance triathlon, helped by my good friend Paul Allen there. Hello, Paul. And yeah, that was good. Well, good means painful, doesn't it? This year, what are we doing? Yes, we're going to run 200 miles around my local running track. So pretty much non-stop. By non-stop, what I mean is I'm not going to, take 3 weeks to do it or something. I want to do it as quick as possible. I'm starting on the 22nd of December. So the quicker I do it, the quicker I get home for Christmas. What I'm going to do, play you the video. Then we'll have a chat. If you could put some questions in, please. And if you could just share the video, that'd be awesome. Thank you. In the UK today, we have an estimated 5,000 veterans without a proper roof over their head. As such, to highlight this issue and to raise vital funds, on the 22nd of December, I will run 200 miles around this track. That's 800 laps. This is going to be very boring. Hello friends, I hope this finds you well. I'm Chris Thrall. I'm a former Royal Marines Commando turned author, adventurer, and now the host of the popular Bought the T-Shirt podcast. Please excuse me while I just read off my notes. I've been fortunate over the years to have lived, worked and travelled in 85 countries across all 7 continents. I'm a qualified pilot, skydiver, advanced scuba diver. I've backpacked through every single country in North, South and Central America. I've taught street children in post-war Mozambique and driven journalists to India and back by coach. I've expeditioned to the Antarctic Polar Circle to dive on icebergs. But my life wasn't always so adrenaline fueled and adventure packed. Leaving the Royal Marines, I completely lost my mental health and ended up homeless. But without any support from professionals or groups, I got my life back on track and now support others to do likewise. In 2018, I ran 999 miles for the length of the United Kingdom.
A former Royal Marines Commando from Devon has tonight reached Land's End after running all the way from John O'Groats. Chris Thrall has run an ultra-marathon every day since the 1st of September and has made the 999-mile journey to raise money for a veterans charity.
He's done it. A warm welcome back and around £15,000 raised to help other veterans in need.
In 2019, for my 50th birthday, I completed a quadruple Ironman distance triathlon. Morning team, I hope you can hear me. We are down here at the sensational Lido pool. As David Goggins says, you can't hurt me. Today is a good day. Now I need your support because I'm about to take on my biggest challenge. On the 22nd of December, I will be running homeless for Christmas. I'm going to run 200 miles around the Brickfields running track in Plymouth. That's 800 laps to raise awareness of the UK's homelessness problem and funds for the BATON Veterans Charity. I've picked a running track to represent the boredom, monotony and endless drudge of being street homeless. I've picked Christmas to symbolise the loneliness of people who are socially excluded and the lack of empathy that society shows for them. Please get involved. To support the charity event, you can join our facebook.com/groups/running homeless, virginmoneygiving.com/running homeless. If you can't afford to donate £5, perhaps you'd get involved and just to share all our posts. All these details are below the video, by the way. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can buy a copy of my latest book, which is there or here, State of Mind. That's how I ran the length of the United Kingdom, an ultramarathon a day, carrying all my camping equipment. And 50% of the royalties for the book until the end of the year will go to the BATON charity. That's it. I'll see you on the track. Merry Christmas. No, we're back. I better turn that off before everyone thinks it's the end of the broadcast. So, yeah, first of all, if you're wondering why I'm wearing a jacket, this is my new running jacket. I'm not sure it's going to be any good, to be honest, because it's quite plasticky. The plastic obviously makes you sweat. Thank you for the questions that are coming in from YouTube. Just write questions in capitals, folks. Then when I look down the feed, I can make them out easily. Anyone watching on Facebook, feel free to ping us a question as well. So let me just try and do this in a logical order. How's the fundraising going? Yeah, I'm quite delighted. We're almost with gift aid at about the £3,000 mark, which is, you know, wonderfully generous of people. But like I always say, it's equally as important to just get involved and share the posts. Obviously, I'm talking on Facebook now or social media. This year, it's just been so hard to get anybody to take interest. Sorry if that sounds a bit negative, but yeah, I'm at a bit of a loss if I was honest. The military always kind of prides itself on being this family and brotherhood, and I think we've got like 30 veterans on the Facebook page after a week, and this has been posted by veterans on the page across all the military groups. I know everyone's got stuff on their mind and different agenda, you know, different agendas in their life. I get that, but I just think it really highlights why some of us struggle. You get all this rhetoric on social media. Hey, my door's always open, you know, da-da. No, it's not. You've just shared a post. You don't really give a shit, do you? You know, you're attention seeking, you're virtue signaling. When it comes to actually joining something like this and supporting, you're not going to do it because, you know, most people are shallow, aren't they? It's a sad fact of life, but unless you've been through hardship, you don't learn that critical empathy for others. So the reason I'm saying this is why are our brothers and sisters killing themselves at an alarming rate? It's because they can't fucking talk to anyone, can they? You know, they can't. No one's interested, or they've just got a mindset that they're not approachable. They're bigots, basically. And I think this is reflective in when you try and do a challenge like this, just trying to get people to support you. I mean, how hard is it to click join on a Facebook page, right? It's always the same people, the loyal people, like my friend Paul, who I mentioned, Matty Elliott, who did the wonderful video that you saw. You know, people with a distinct lack of ego, if I was going to be frank. So if you're watching now, just join the Facebook group or share the YouTube video. You don't have to. If you can spare a £5 for the charity, the link is below. That's all well and good. But that's not really the issue here, is it? The issue is society's attitude towards our vulnerable people. You know, whether that be people battling addiction, battling mental health, battling depression, battling anxiety. We still have a really terrible old school attitude towards it. And it's only when it affects us directly that you go, oh, right. Yeah, I kind of get it now. So I don't know what we can do about that other than to just keep having open chats like this. I'm just going to go to the chat, the YouTube chat, and take any questions. Okay, so Vikram has said, so just to close on that bit, friends, sorry, just support the Facebook group, share the posts. I think I'd like quite a few shares of, I'm not even sure what's been shared. Some of it's been shared an awful lot. Like some of the posts have been shared thousands of times already, right? Which is brilliant. It's so kind of you. But the fact there's 500 people in the group, what does that say about us as a, not just as society, but as a veterans community? I think it's a pretty poor show, personally. So, yes, bit more positive. Fight Crown was saying, what motivates you to challenge yourself every day? Well, some days I'm not motivated. They're probably the days when you actually have to make an effort. Normally I motivate myself. It's simple. I don't like pain. I don't like pain in my life. I don't like unhappiness. I've done that when I was chronically addicted to crystal meth and other things. Battling, you know, deep underlying trauma, chronic depression beyond which I don't think you ever can describe that to someone who maybe hasn't been there. Like I've done that in my life, you know. I've spent a year and a half basically living on a filthy sofa bed, unable to get up and go out the front door unless I had drugs, right? You know, to just drastically change my mood. And I'm not going to go back there. It's that simple, you know. I'm not going to go back there. And now I've learnt the strategies that you need to know to stay balanced in life. And it boils down, I'm always talking about this on my YouTube channel, in my Commando Coach playlist. For anyone that's struggling, just go to my Commando Coach playlist on YouTube and start watching the videos. And you too will then be able to adopt these 5 simple things that happy people do pretty much on a daily basis, like routine, isn't it? So for example, get up, smile at the morning sun. That's you saying thank you for this life, right? Because a lot of my oppos, and I know I speak for many of you out there, are dead now, right? Killed, many of them in horrendous circumstances. My 3 best mates are dead, all from drinking drugs. 2 of them drank themselves to death. One of them drowned on LSD, right? So I'll live my life for them. I'm not going to have an unhappy day, because how fair would that be when they don't get a chance anymore? They'd love to be here being unhappy, right? So I get up, I smile at the sun. That's my way of thanking Mother Nature or the universe for giving me this chance, right? Gratitude. Then I take action. My action on a daily basis is, some of you know, I'll run around the block. That's just to do something, right? It also gets all the right chemicals flowing to your brain, topped off with a cold shower, and you've had some breathing exercise, right? Really, really helps keep depression out of your day, or to keep restlessness, or to keep anxiety, right? Friends on Facebook, just a quick one, feel free to leave me a message. And thank you for everyone that's tuned in. So that's the second thing I do. I take action. What else? There's quite a lot of stuff I do to motivate myself. I turn every negative into a positive, right? So if I'm getting a lack of support in my charity challenge, I don't think about that. I think about the good people out there, like the people watching now, that actually support me and are loyal, that have, you know, it says a lot about their characters, that they're in a good place in their life, that they can focus some of their time on you, some of their time on others, isn't it? That's what we're saying. So I'll tend to focus on that, right? If I come home and an earthquake's knocked my house down, I generally couldn't give a shit. Seriously, you won't get me crying on Facebook and woe is me. It absolutely doesn't matter, you know, as long as you've got this body, as long as your family's all right, isn't it? That's it. Chuck us in a council house. No disrespect meant to people that live in council houses, but chuck us in temporary accommodation. Don't care, right? Doesn't matter. So yeah, I do these kind of things. Always cut your own path. And this is a real difficult thing for veterans to do. So many veterans won't come on the podcast because they're always worried about what other people think about them, right? It's kind of like a bit of a indoctrination, I suppose you say, that mindset that the military indoctrinate you into so that you can go out and work as a team. I get fascinating people. I speak to French foreign legionnaires, you know, and I'm like, dude, come, let's chat on the podcast. No, what it is, Chris, I only served 7 years, and some of the guys did like 10. Who gives a fuck? You know, be proud of your life. Who cared if you joined up, did 3 days in the Foreign Legion? Chat to me about that. It doesn't matter what other people think, because if they think that, they are, they're not enlightened people, are they? They're not enlightened people, right? If you swan around your life just tearing other people down, that's fine. If that's what you want to do, people like myself, we're just carrying on our path, right? But this is just another thing. I'm coming up with the things here, Vikram, that I notice is making people unhappy. So I hope this is making sense. So yeah, cut your own path through life. Dream. I'm motivated because I dream. You know, I dream big. I one day wanted to run, I think it goes back to Ian Botham when he used to walk the length of the UK. Just a little dream in there thinking, yeah, I'd like to do that one day. And then when your time comes, you make it reality, right? Hello, Pete. You know, some people are afraid to dream because society's conditioned them so much we live in what's called a fear-based society. Everything you see in the media isn't designed to educate and enlighten you, designed to make you scared, so you're controllable, and that you go out and accept what the corporations want to force on you now, right? I think there's a lot of examples in play at the moment. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't have to name them. I think most of you know what I'm talking about, right? We live in a fear-based society. You got it. If you want to be motivated, you've got to recognise that. And that's over there. If people want to live in that, that's fine. That's their choice. But you don't have to. You can live as an enlightened individual under the universe. And then when you want to go up to John O'Groats with no training and smash out a 1,000-mile run, pretty much non-stop except for sleeping on the side of the road, you can just go and do it, right? Because it doesn't, other people's opinions aren't. Advice is great, safety is great, but naysayers, they can do one, right? You don't want to, I don't want to get on my deathbed at 85, or whenever it is, if I last that long. Look at these lines. I'm probably going to get, maybe I'll make 55, but I don't want to be there looking at my life and thinking, oh my God, I didn't do what I actually wanted to do, and just get out there and smash it because I worried that, you know, I might have to walk half of the marathon, or I worried that, you know, I might learn to fail my pilot's license and have to, what's the worst? You have to retake it, right? Pete's here, Pete Devlin. Hello, Pete, on Facebook. Yeah, Pete, we've all come a long way, mate, haven't we? Right, back to the Facebook. So how is the funding going? Thank you, Quadrex, and thanks for tuning in, mate. Yeah, it's going, the fundraising's going fine. When you are a homeless veteran, and there's several different types of homelessness, right? So you've got street homeless, which is pretty much the worst form. That's, some people opt to be on the street because it's just away from all the hassle and stress of society. When you're not functioning well, when you've got anxieties, depressions, addictions, it becomes an impossibility to connect with all the things you need to do to keep a roof over your head. Signing paperwork, which as some of you know, just sending a form to the council or whatever can take 2-3 hours of your day. Then you've still got, I always put the asterisks on the things I don't know how to answer this, I don't know how to and I leave that, and then I'll maybe go and chat with my girlfriend and say, what are they asking me here, right? It's not easy things. When you're you know, not feeling well, you can't do those things. So eventually you lose bits from your life, end up street homeless. For some people, they prefer that option, right? There's also sofa surfing, isn't there? That's when you've split up with your partner, you're estranged from your family, you're just begging you or asking your mates to let you sleep on the couch. Then you've got hostel accommodation, so temporary accommodation, B&B, all these kind of things, right? And yeah, it's not a particularly nice place to be. So so that money, £3,000, that might just be the thing that can help a veteran, veterans plural, to to stay in a flat, right? Or to get them a flat, or to furnish that flat. But moreover, when you're in that situation, and obviously I've been there, it's really nice just to have organisations like the BATON, like SAFA, like the Legion, that will just listen to you, and they'll come forward, and they still have that military kind of bearing. Right, what is it we need to do? Okay, you need a flat. Let's get you, right? Doesn't mean the accommodation might not fail again. It probably does for a lot of people, but that's because the process of change involves lapses and relapses, and that's a fine thing, you know. It's all, if it's all good in the end, then it's all worth it, isn't it? Right, bear with me a second. Just checking on Facebook if we've got any questions. Yeah, right, hang on. So yeah, hang on a second. Sorry, my chat on YouTube flicks around all the time, folks. So I answer one question and it flicks to somewhere else. Let's have a look. The Veterans PTSD camp in Bath. Kenneth, I'm not familiar. I'm not familiar with that, mate. There's a lot of great initiatives going on at the moment. Thank you, John. Chris, you are such a genuine soul. I sound like David Brent. No, John, you are very kind. It's not really about that. It's me being selfish, mate. If you're not genuine, you're just adding to your bucket of unhappiness in life. It's that simple. If you're false, you're fake, or you're shallow, or you're a coward, you got to live with that, you know? Do you know what I'm saying? You got to live with it, and it puts you off balance in your head. It's not a nice thing to live with those qualities, is it? So I'm not genuine because I'm such a great person. I'm genuine because it's just the easiest way to go through life. You know, it's going to upset a lot of people. Because remember, a lot of, you know, most people will live in their egos until they have their enlightenment. Living in that, worried what other people think. Worried when someone does something different. Worried when somebody speaks the truth that kind of interrupts their little bubble. Do you know what I'm saying? So I just encourage everyone, start today. Just yeah, just try and be a bit more genuine. And it's all, this is all relative. This is all relative to why veterans end up on the street, even if it sounds like it's going around the houses a bit, you know. Thank you, Matrix. Yeah, so how can you help? Join the Facebook group, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the posts, folks. That's all I ask, you know. At Christmas, I think it should be quite something. I think a lot of people will want to tune in, and they will want to, you know, it'll be interesting. They want to know how I'm getting on. How's this crazy former Marine doing, trying to run 200 miles? Is he still alive? I have had quite a lot of people said that I would die. So, rain equals liquid sunshine. Yes, Quadrex, you're always awesome, mate. Thank you. Much love to you, brother. You know, you support this channel from the get-go, and I really appreciate that. If you want to get more involved, ping us an email and let's chat, because I can always do with help, support. What we got here from Kenneth: meditation regularly throughout the day. Brilliant, Kenneth. Yes, meditate. Meditate takes many different forms. It's probably not what you think it is. For me, Hello, Nikki, my darling. Nikki on Facebook has supported me through thick and thin. We have been around the world together, or certain parts of it. Given times of our life to work for free to help impoverished communities. Good stuff, Nikki, eh? So yeah, meditation. Meditation is simply taking part out your day just to let all the stresses of society go, and remember, primarily, you're not a part of society. Primarily, you're part of the universe, right? Your carbon molecules have always been here since the dawn of time. They will always be here. You might not want to hear this. You are just life, experiencing life in this form, okay? And when you can appreciate that, then you take a few minutes every day just to sit back and just remember, you are the universe, right? And when you can do that, then you realize how silly and petty most of the things we worry about are. Doesn't matter how you're going to pay the bills next week. Don't stress it. If you believe in a universe, you will find a way, right? Meditation, some people's going for a run. Why do you think people like long distance running? It's that you just get lost in your head. You're not thinking about the gas bill or some dick at work, right? Dun, dun, dun. So, veterans against, I'm not going to say the word because YouTube will flag it, but child, I always think those titles are a bit funny because everyone's against that sort of, well, every, rational human being is against that sort of thing. Makes it sound like there's veterans that are for it. Yes. Hi Andy, thanks for your support, mate. Thank you for buying the book. There we go. State of Mind. This is the story of me running the length of the UK. It's been selling quite well actually, and the 50% of the royalties is going to the BATON. So the BATON there. The BATON charity. Until the end of the year, that is. So let me just talk a bit about the training. I've been running about 0.9 of a mile 3-4 times a week. Might be 4, sometimes 5 times a week. I've done a couple of, I think 3 11-mile runs. And you might have heard me say this, they absolutely killed me. I mean, they genuinely put me in a pain cave to the point where it does make me wonder why I do these big challenges, because I'm not that sort of guy. I'm just not that, hill sprints and calories and energy gels and stopwatch. I plod in pain. But I keep plodding, so there's a lesson there for all of us. So, coming to the end of that. Any more questions on YouTube, ping them to me. Thank you, Luke. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, if you've read the book, folks, if you've read State of Mind and you can leave a review, that would be brilliant. That'll help. Morning, Rob. Hello, Tom. Tom, I'll do the audio book, mate. I'm just a one-man band, fairly a one-man band. That's all about to change. Got some really exciting news for the podcast. I'll announce this properly soon, but for those of you, if you want an advance peek at what's going on in the Chris Thrall world, I have taken on an incredible new editor stroke producer. Ben, hello, if you get to watch this, and his stuff's incredible. I'll start putting bits and pieces of it out there. His editing's phenomenal, and hoping that I can just get involved in doing the podcasting, so the talking, and then I can hand over to Ben to do all the editing and the uploading, which just takes a lot of time, you know. So how long? Great question, mate. I never know whether to call you by your real name on YouTube if you're using a pseudonym. Do you get what I'm saying? But great question from 1200. How long is 200 miles going to take? The short answer is I don't know. The approximate answer is that I want to try on the first day and get about 130 miles done. I figure when you do a normal ultra run, it's normally on, you know, on what do you say, gradients, hills and downhills, right? And across grass and cross country trails, this sort of thing. So running on the track, despite it being boring, which is the whole point, homelessness is boring, running on the track will give me a bit of a sort of a jump on the distance, right? So ordinarily I reckon I could just run 100 miles in a day. Because it's the track, I'm hoping I can do 130 on that first day. Well, I'm not hoping. I'm probably going to. If I haven't, we'll all know something is seriously wrong, right? But yeah, and that will leave 70 miles for a second day. So just under 3 marathons. Worst come to the worst, then we can run through Christmas Eve, which will be the third day, but only until 1 o'clock on the track, because the track's obviously going to shut when the Brickfields Leisure Centre shuts. When it shuts, if I'm still not finished, then I'm probably going to rock up on a hoe and just do laps of the hoe to get the 200 miles in. So yeah, we're looking at 3 days maximum, 2 days at best, right? Thank you, Tom. Tom wants my audiobook. I'll have to get cracking on that, Tom. So yes, oh, Aidan Moore, thank you, brother. That's really kind. You've bought the book. That book there. Rock on. That one there. Aidan, thank you, mate. That's really kind of you. If you could leave a review when you finish on Amazon, that will really help. Yeah, in state of mind, if you're interested in doing this, any sort of challenge, even if it's a half marathon and you haven't done it before, and you're kind of like toying in your mind, read. I can't do it. Read that book seriously for $7.99, or what is it, two or three quid as a Kindle. I've put everything in there that got me from, you know, homelessness and addiction to smashing all of my goals all across the world, right? It's all in there. If you don't read, don't learn, right? Is that a good sale? Yes, I've heard about the treating PTSD with microdosing with mushrooms. it's one of those areas where anything that works. Hello, Bryony. Hope you're well. Thank you for joining us. It's one of those things. If it works, you know, great. And different things will work for different people. And they will work at different times in that person's life, depending on where they are on their journey, right? And, you know, when we say PTSD, obviously we don't use the D anymore because D means disorder. And trauma isn't a disorder. Trauma is something that you've been through, right? I would argue many people suffer it in childhood, and then it comes out when they leave the military and they leave that family again, right? It's childhood trauma coming out, maybe worsened by experience while in the service. But I'd also argue that the majority of society, we live in a fear-based society. So the moment you're born, you are bombarded with cruelty in the form of, you know, indoctrination, politics, culture, stereotype, tradition, mainstream media, advertising, right? That you've only got to look at one of those, you know, they call them beauty magazines. They should call them ugly magazines because they make people feel ugly, don't they? You've only got to look at one of them or a Men's Health or whatever and just see how cruel, the cruelty that we're experienced, you know, that we're subjected to. I mean, young girls from as soon as they've got a cognitive, you know, ability to process stuff, they're bombarded by the pink agenda. Do you know what I'm saying? The girly, the this, the it's bombarded with body image stuff, diet stuff. Now young people got the cruelty of social media to deal with, and the confusion that it creates, the malformed relationships that or the inappropriate relationships you have on social media because they're not real and they're not genuine and comments are throwaway, right? You watch the news, it's just fear-based propaganda, isn't it? I know many of you have come to realise this now because, you know, you write to me and say so. Fear-based propaganda to make you scared in your bed, because when we're scared, we throw our hands up and we ask people to lead us, don't we? And, you know, that's great if you're in an indigenous Indian tribe in America 400 years ago. You probably had a great leader, a hero, right? Someone that would lay down their life for you. Now, we have cowardly, blackmailed, scandalmonger, thieving, cheating, lily-livered, sexual deviants leading us, don't we? Right? They're not leaders. They don't do for you and I. But, you know, they don't lay down their services for you and I. They do what feathers their nest the best, right? And the nests of the sociopaths that control them, right? So, yeah, fear-based society, isn't it? Can't remember what the question was, sorry, but you know, this is all stuff that's not talked about, and it's hidden, and it's purposely hidden. So yeah, we're talking about trauma, weren't we? So yeah, so I would argue we've all been subjected to trauma because we've been bashed with this stuff from the moment we were born. Oh, Rob, thank you, mate. Just read Eating Smoke. That's the story of my that's my Hong Kong story. 25% through 40 nights. That's my recovery from Hong Kong story. Rob's got all my ebooks for free. Friends, if you join my Patreon, it's only $1.99 a month. You get a VIP invite to my annual talk, so we get to meet each other, and you get all my books for free in ebook form. So you just download Kindle to your phone and you can read all my books for what, you know, for $1.99. Yes, Tom, you're right. Tom thinks it's madness how people think the system's here to protect us. This is why you got to know your history and realise this system goes back 8,000 years to ancient Babylon, when men first realise if they control the money system, they control you, right? And that money system, the system of debt and interest, and it corrupts everybody. You have to corrupt yourself to be a part of this money system. Whether it's in the workplace, taking that job that you never really wanted to, or that position, it's more hours, it's less time with your kids, whatever. You know, this money system's not good. It gets people to a place in life where they don't want to go back because they think it's all about the money. It keeps people, whereas life should be about lifestyle, right? And spending time with your loved ones and achieving in an enlightening environment, not in a work, just solely a work ethic environment. It keeps people enslaved to mortgages for their whole life. Goes on and on and on. Debt-based economy. Yes, it's worth learning about the money system. That's another bit far away from running that, isn't it? So, thank you, Kenneth. You're very welcome. Thank you for joining us. Princess, oh, thank you, Ben. Princess programming, is this the little, you know, dress all the little girls in pink? If you come to where I live, you can't go out and see a little girl that's not got pink shoes, pink clothes, pink hair, in a pink pram, it's, a lot of people don't understand this. They're like, well, so what? It's just a colour. This is what you're up against. Of course it's not a colour. You know, it's indoctrination from a very young age into a specific, you know, specific stereotype, isn't it? Anyway, yes. Yes, Babylonian money magic. Worth learning about. Controls every aspect of your life and my life, unfortunately. Hi, Di. Thank you, yes. The channel, the YouTube channel is growing. It froze for quite a while. Well, it didn't freeze. When you've got people coming in, you've also got people leaving, right? So as your subject matter kind of changes around, because of the short-term nature of people's attentions now in society, again, which is all controlled by these sociopaths, people will just unsubscribe from a YouTube if they see one video that doesn't suit their, you know, the mindset they live in, right? Whereas to look at the long-term projection of this channel, you'll hopefully looking at education, right? There isn't like an agenda here other than enlightenment, I guess you're saying. Yeah, a lot of people are realising that, Tom, aren't they? If your vote mattered to these sociopaths, you wouldn't be allowed to vote. So, have never voted, never will vote. Not going to vote for my own slavery, right? Okay, that's it. Let's go and watch another video, shall we? And then, friends, any questions, write them. I'll take them after this video. Thank you so much, everyone that's stuck in here and watched. Let's have a look. What one shall we go for? Oh, right. Friends, if you want a part of this to come with me on this challenge, all you got to do is sign up to my email list on my website. I won't spam you because I've only ever sent one email newsletter, right? Sign up to the newsletter on my website and share a post, and you could come with me on this. Watch. Wasn't that amazing? That is Chris and Claire at V-Force. If you want a chance to come with me for a day out at V-Force, so we'll be racing cars. If you don't drive, I'll drive you. And that'll be an experience you won't forget. You want to shoot some weapons. I think it's blanks, but you know, it's still going to be, it's like an SAS Special Forces experience, right? Special Forces driving. Just go to my website now, just sign my email list and share a post. That's all I ask you to do. I'll be picking a winner at the end of the year. To give you an idea, is it worth doing? Yes, because we've only had 10 people enter in a month. So if we get 20, you've got a 1 in 20 chance of getting a day out that would ordinarily cost you about £350, right? Plus you get me boring you all day long. So, dun dun dun. I can see Robert has joined us. Hello, Robert. Hoping to see you again this year, mate, and you can drag me along again, or bring your bike. That might be more suitable. So yeah, brilliant. Ben's asking, can he do it on his motorbike? Yes, please, bring it along. We'll get, when the cameras are off, we'll get a few laps in, Ben. We'll just knock off 40 miles, and on your bike, that will probably take us about, what, 10 minutes or something. So yes, okay, let's have a look at a running video.
The house won't paint itself. That means you've got to start running. I decided 2 months ago I'd do a 100-mile run. Why not tag a 10-mile swim and a 450-mile bike ride to it and make it a quadruple Ironman, right? So I've had 2 months to train, and I'm not excessively fit. And I'm not superhuman. It's not because I'm a superman. But if you go on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Chris Thrall, I talk about the life rules that I've built up by, rather than avoiding and shunning adversity, I've embraced it over the years, and I've turned every negative into a positive. And as I always say, you get one life, and if you live it right, one is enough.
Once again there, the wonderful work of Matty Elliott. If you need any camera work done, whether it's your wedding or an event or a project, get in touch with Matty at MRE Photography. If you need me to put you in touch with him, just send me an email. That's not a problem. So friends, we're about there, aren't we? Thank you ever so much for bearing with us. I think my my Facebook supporters are, I think some of them might have had their heads spun a bit, because for our Facebook friends on YouTube, we're used to talking about these deep psychosocial issues, the spiritual element, chucking a bit of human biology, right? So thanks for sticking with us this far, if you have. Hello, Stephen W on Facebook. Thanks for joining us, mate, and thanks for all your support. I've seen you've been sharing the posts and chucking us a few likes. Really appreciate it, mate. Question here from Vikram Singh. Am I saying it right? Vikram. In my Royal Marines career, did I ever think about trying out for selection? So that's selection for Special Forces. Vikram, I was too hard, mate. I would have shown them all up. I would have like set the bar. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I was a physically impressive specimen with a mind like iron. No, as you probably guessed, I'm joking. I wasn't that kind of person, mate. I wasn't I struggle with running, still do. Not a particularly good runner. I got short legs, so carrying a huge backpack is, my mind would have had to really be in the right place, where it is now, funnily enough. So at 51, I stand a much better chance of passing selection than I did when I was, 19, 25 when I left the Marines. It's a tough old thing. Some guys are just up for it. It's just the way they are. And I'm absolutely impressed, because it fits in with my philosophy, doesn't it? One life, smash it. I wish I had their confidence when I was in the Marines. Not that I ever thought about joining the Special Forces. I really didn't. It just wasn't really on my radar. What am I saying? And my business came along, and I worked on my business while I was in the Marines, and it took me out to Hong Kong. So when you're pitched at being a company's next millionaire, you're not really thinking about throwing yourself, to the bottom of a lake, a freezing cold lake in Scotland. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So yes, that's it. Okay. Any more for any more? Just let's have a look at one last bit of footage.
A former Royal Marines Commando from Devon has tonight reached Land's End after running all the way from John O'Groats. Chris Thrall has run an ultra-marathon every day since the 1st of September and has made the 999-mile journey to raise money for a veterans charity. Spotlight's Andrea Ormsby saw him cross the finish line.
He's explored 80 countries on 7 continents, backpacked through North, South and Central America, caught piranhas in the Amazon, swum with bull sharks in Belize and holds a world record for firewalking. This is Chris Thrall's latest adventure.
Yeah, it's up there with the rest of them. I've been lucky over the years to, try my hand at a lot of different adventures. I've been scuba diving in the Antarctic, fly planes, jump out of them, and of course I joined the Marines when I was 18.
Chris has done 37 ultramarathons every day from John O'Groats to Land's End to raise money for a charity which is close to his heart.
Words fail. I mean, to do what he's done has been incredible, and the condition his body's in, because he's got wrecked knees, other problems that we all know about. And you just run out of words to describe how much you admire his effort, how much it means to so many people, because he's inspiring a lot of people who are in the same boat, PTSD.
Life for Chris became very hard after he left the Royal Marines.
I mean, I didn't know what depression was, and I found it really hard to interact with professionals because they didn't really understand the mindset of a serviceman.
He's done it. A warm welcome back and around £15,000 raised to help other veterans in need. Andrea Ormsby, BBC Spotlight, Land's End.
And we're back. So that's about it, folks. If you've got any last minute questions, post them now, because I'm going to finish off. Got my very old friend Andy watching on Facebook. Hello, brother. How are you? Yes, that's about it. So what can you do? Share the posts. If you could share the intro video, it's the first post pasted on in the Facebook group. Just share that one. This chat's probably gonna blow a lot of people's minds. It might be a bit complex, I'm not sure, but hey ho. You get one life, right? You gotta do your thing. So that's it. So yeah, just get involved in the Facebook, share the posts, share the YouTube videos, support the YouTube channel. If you can spare a £5 for a donation, there's a link below. All the videos are on the page. That'd be awesome. Andrew's asked, what was it like getting my parachute wings? So, training in parachute insertion, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant, Andrew. Without doubt, along with skydiving, just like the best thing, one of the best things I've ever done in my life. We've got John McClelland on Facebook. Hello, John, brother. John is my Royal Marines brother who put me up when I ran the length of the country. Absolutely spoilt me rotten. Cooked me a nice steak. And then, John, bless you, let me have your bed, John, didn't you? And I didn't want to, but you insisted. Very kind of you. I made a terrible error in the book. I spelt your name wrong, John, and that's just... It's because I'm just doing too much at the moment, mate, if I was honest. I'm spread so thinly everywhere. Trying to build the YouTube channel so I can get some more support in. So, massive apologies, but I will rectify it. Don't worry. So, yeah, para-training. For a start, you're throwing yourself out of a Hercules, so an aircraft, with 60 other people, 30 in each stick either side, and it's go, 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 go. It's like the old war films you watched, isn't it? But you're doing it. You're up. You're doing something in your life you never thought you would do. You just never thought you would do. You are now an airborne warrior. Okay, I'm being a bit literary, but you are, you know. You're the one jumping out of an airplane with your rifle and a huge backpack. Although on the para course it's actually a jerry can full of sand, right? I was well up for it. I made sure every time we got in the aircraft or in the balloon, because you do your first jump from a balloon, always made sure I was last on board, so then I could be first out the door. Yeah, absolutely brilliant para course. It's amazing. Controlling your fear, that's a good thing to learn. You know, just putting that to one side and focusing. When it's your turn, you go. Obviously, everyone that comes out that door has had to master that. Checking off all your equipment, doing the training in the hangar where you're hung up in straps, webbing straps, and you've got to do all the drills, like what happens if you come into water. You've got to get your parachute off before you hit the water, and then jump the last, you know, whatever it is, sort of 5 meters. Really, really good fun. So yeah, para course. So that's it, folks. Massive love to you all. Please just get involved in the Facebook group. What's it called? Just type Running Homeless into Facebook. You can type Chris Thrall into virgingiving.com. Just type my name and this challenge will come up if you've got a fiver to spare. That's it. You're all legends. I'm going to play you out. Have a wonderful Sunday. I'll be going out for a run this afternoon, so I might do a quick live video in the Facebook group. You're all legends. Much love. Hello friend, I hope this finds you well. My name's Chris Thrall. I'm a former Royal Marines Commando and I fought my way back from chronic trauma and addiction to live, work and travel in 80 countries across all 7 continents, achieving all of my dreams and goals along the way. Now I pass my simple system on to other people, but I can only help you if you like and subscribe. So please do so, because you get one life, and if you live it right, one is enough.